So today we're going to be doing some demonstration on ergonomics, something that is extremely huge in our industry that we don't actually take into consideration as much as we should.
Yes, definitely. So we're gonna be giving you guys some pointers over some things that we see that you guys do. So we're just gonna make sure that you guys pay attention so that you guys do it right. And they're just little details that make a huge difference.
Huge difference.
Definitely.
So make sure you guys are paying attention. These are little things that as stylists we kind of don't put too much attention on, like how we're standing when we're cutting hair, how we're using our shears, and the fact that our chair does things that sometimes we forget it does. So we are going to start with the chair right now. Why does everybody think our chair is extremely important in our industry? Think about it. Brainstorm. Sometimes we forget what the chair can do.
So what we see a lot of you guys do with the chair, first of all, is that the pedal that you guys are supposed to be using to pump the chair up or down, it's not at the right place. Sometimes you guys have it all the way on this side where your client is sitting, and then all of a sudden you have to move your chair around or get in between the client's legs for you guys to actually be able to pump them up. So that's one thing that you guys should definitely keep in mind. When you guys are getting ready for your client, also make sure to check where this is so that it's easier for you guys and you guys are not running around trying to figure out where it is.
It's so annoying when you already have your client sitting in the chair and all of a sudden you realize that your pedal is actually in the front when it should be in the back. So that tip alone is going to help you so much with ergonomics, especially if you have a client that has a little bit longer hair. You need to remember that your chair actually pumps up pretty high. So that way it gives you a little bit more balance as far as you not having to bend over all the time. And sometimes what we're doing is we're cutting like this, and that's not okay because we actually end up messing up our back when we're doing those kinds of things.
Yes, or definitely, or the ones that are trying to cut a 0 degree like that. Come on. If your client has that long of a hair, it's better for you to have your client standing up and you sit in the chair, that way that your back is still straight and it's more comfortable for you.
The other thing especially is when you guys are blow drying. You're at the top of the head and ready to start blow drying the top, and you have your client all the way up high, and then this is you with the blow dryer. You're working above the heart. You should always keep in mind that when you're working, you should never be working higher than your heart, okay? Anytime your arms are going higher than the heart, that's actually causing stress on your arm, on the rest of your body. So anytime you're working, you want to be working below the heart or at the heart. Anything higher, you want to keep in mind that that's actually stressing out some part of the body, okay? So be aware of those little things. So remember, when you are doing a blow dry and you're at the top of the head, you want to come down. You want to bring the chair down. And sometimes even not being afraid to tell your client, can you scoot down a little bit so that I'm a little more comfortable when I am doing your hair. There's a lot of other things that you guys need to take into consideration whenever you are doing hair every day.
And sometimes even that, if you're a little bit on the short side, even that can be a little bit higher for you. Remember that you have those little stools that you guys can step on top so that it's easier for you. Just like Miss Judy said, you don't want to be working above your heart, and if you're on the shorter side, it's gonna happen really, really quick. Almost for every client you're gonna have that problem, so don't forget to use those little stools. They're pretty available for you throughout the whole school. So another thing, when you're blow drying, is that if your client, sometimes they don't know how to scoot down, it's just maybe ask them to tilt their head a little bit back when you're working on the top of the head. That is also gonna help you guys.
The other tool that we forget we have, which is a great tool, is our rollabouts. If you put all your tools on your rollabouts, it moves, it has wheels, it can come to you rather than you coming to the rollabout. The other thing is a lot of us are used to setting up on our counters Well, what happens when you set up on the counters? What do you get tempted to want to do? Reach over, okay? Reaching over isn't the best thing for you to be doing either. So we need to start relying more on rollabouts. Rollabouts are going to be our best friends, swear.
So I always mention it to you guys, even as freshmen. If you're right-handed, make sure to do your SMA on the right hand. If you're left-handed, left side. That way you're not reaching over and crossing over, especially when you're doing highlights. You have the foil in the client's head, and then you're trying to do this so that you're able to grab product and apply it, and it's much easier if it's this way. You have your foil, and then you simply saturate. So,
Right.
little detail, huge difference.
So the less stress you can put on your body, the better it's going to be for you. And from experience doing hair for as many years as we have, we start to feel that wear and tear on our body because we don't take care of it as we start, working in the industry. So those are things that you want to start working on now. Reaching over, stretching your back in places the back shouldn't be stretching, are things that you want to avoid. So using a rollabout is going to help you so much. If you're right-handed, make sure it's on your right side. If you're left-handed, make sure it's on your left side so that everything is smooth. And there's nothing like doing a color application and you have your color ball on the opposite side of what you're used to. So get used to putting everything on the side on whether you're right-handed or left-handed. Get comfortable doing that, you guys. It's going to be such a big help for you.
So another tool that sometimes you guys forget how to use are your shears. You're using pretty much this all day, every day, okay? So some of you guys get so comfortable to cutting this way, but look what's happening to your wrist. You're putting too much pressure on your wrist and then trying to open your thumb to open and close your shears. That's way too much stress, okay? So the ideal way will be for you to guys cut, remember, palm to palm. So this is the correct way, palm to palm, not like this. Also, another way, it depends on what area you're cutting. So if you're doing a 0-degree haircut, make sure it's palm to palm. If you're doing a 180, now you're cutting on top of your fingers. So make sure to pay attention to those little details as well. And then also remember that you're not cutting paper, you're cutting hair, so you only move your thumb with your shears. So you're not doing this, you're only doing this, which you're also gonna have way more control on cutting the hair versus doing this, okay?
And the next is going to be the blow dryer. So the proper way to actually hold the blow dryer is to grab on top and blow dry, okay? Your wrist isn't being stretched in an abnormal position. A lot of you guys like to hold on the nozzle. That's perfect. Your wrist is not being bent in any way, shape, or form. But then some of us will hold the nozzle and push forward so that we're blow drying like this. Now, not only are you messing with your wrist, you're actually messing with your whole shoulder because this is completely uncomfortable. This is not a movement that naturally we want to do. So as you're blow drying, you want to play with your blow dryer, position your fingers so that you're actually not stressing out any part of the body at all when you're blow drying, okay?
Definitely. And then I feel another thing about the blow dryer is the nozzle. Sometimes the nozzles on your blow dryer move, so you can move it to where it's gonna be more comfortable for you. So for example, if the nozzle's this way, I'm gonna have to turn my hand to try to keep it, the same as the brush. So remember, if this moves, move it to where it's easier for you, not to where it's uncomfortable for you.
Right. The other thing that we need to talk about ergonomics is shoes. I know a lot of the times we don't take it into consideration, and it's actually worse for the girls because we have the cutest shoes ever that are flat, no heel whatsoever, no form of comfort at all. It's a little flat piece of plastic or rubber, whatever the case it may be. Part of our ergonomics is wearing a comfortable shoe because we're on our feet all day and we have to take care of our feet. And the only way we're gonna do that is wearing proper shoes.
Definitely. And not only that they're thin, some of us right now it's very in style to have that pointed so your toes are actually compressed so that, we're not really taking in consideration what that's doing to our feet. But Most of us are gonna wanna look cute all the time. Another thing that you guys can do when you guys are out in the field, you guys can just purchase a mat where it's gonna be nice and comfy and cushy.
Yeah, but I think we'll go over a little bit of what we just talked about. Ergonomics, it's extremely important for you guys to practice it in a good way now that you're barely starting in the industry, instead of creating bad habits. And once you're used to those bad habits, it's kind of hard for you to break them. So now that you're learning, start practicing using your chair. Don't forget that our chair moves. Don't forget you can pump it up. Don't forget you can bring it back down. You have step stools that you can step on if your client's a lot taller than you. The proper way to use your shears, holding your blow dryer, and using your rollabout are extremely important.
Very important.
Don't forget wearing good shoes too.
Yeah.
Now, if you guys have any questions, make sure you comment below on the video. After you're done watching the video, at the end, you need to make sure you put your first and last name into the comment box so that you can get credit for watching this video, you guys.
All right. See you guys next time.
Thank you.